What is up, guys? Cobes here, coming to you from Bali. After the post last week, I had a few comments, messages through social media and the YouTube asking how I use heart rate variability to determine what I'm going to do in terms of training, nutrition, and recovery for that day. So that's what this video is going to be about. First of all, what is HRV? This is heart rate variability. This is essentially a snapshot into the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system controls around about 80 to 90% of our body's physiological processes that occur behind the scenes. This is what keeps our heart beating, our lungs breathing, our endocrine system doing its thing, digestive system doing its thing, reproductive system, so on and so forth. Okay, 11 systems of the body, and they all basically work automatically. All right, so two branches of the autonomic nervous system. Okay, one is our sympathetic state. This is our fight or flight stress response. The other is our parasympathetic state, which is our rest and digest, recovery, adaptation response. All right, so when we go to the gym, we put stress into the system or provide a stimulus of stress. Okay, then the body, as it refuels, recovers, rehydrates, etc., the brain goes, I need to be able to deal with that stress better next time. So it takes all of those nutrients coming in from food to then upregulate all of the systems that have been put under stress. All right, as an example, when we tear down the muscles through training, then those muscles are going to build back bigger, stronger, faster, better. All right, that's essentially happening throughout the entire body, through all 11 systems of the body. As we provide stimulus, then we rest, we recover, then we get that adaptation. All right, so we can deal with that stress better next time. So every morning I take my heart rate variability. I didn't bring my gear with me to Bali, but I don't need to. I've got an understanding of how sleep, waking heart rate, recovery, all that sort of stuff affects my autonomic nervous system. But when I'm back in Thailand, I'm tracking that stuff on a daily basis. Now, if I wake up and I'm in a sympathetic state, maybe that first 10 minutes in the morning is going to be driving the parasympathetic nervous system. So I can use my breath work to really slow down the heart rate, really drive that parasympathetic state. And basically what we're doing here when we're using our breath work is we're telling the brain that we're in a safe space. So it can kind of calm down, regulate the stress response, upregulate that parasympathetic rest, digest, recovery state. All right, so that's how you can use breath work. Now, here's something to think about as well, is I can also use breath work. If I start hyperventilating, for example, this is going to drive the stress response. I'm going to start releasing cortisol and adrenaline, things like that, and basically tell the brain that there's a threat, essentially, and it's going to upregulate that stress response. So if I wake up in the morning and I am in a sympathetic state and I know that I've got a big day ahead of me, I actually want to probably drive the parasympathetic state. So then I use my meditation. I'll lay on my balcony, I'll do 20 breaths, for example, and I want to try and make those 20 breaths extend out for as long as possible. And normally, if things are well balanced for me, it normally takes me about 5 minutes to get those 20 breaths out. Okay, on the other side, if I wake up and I'm in a balanced state where I'm feeling pretty good and I want to actually drive the sympathetic state because I'm starting the day on the front foot and I know that I'm going straight into some work or something like that that does require a higher cognitive function, then I am going to do something that's going to drive the sympathetic state. And one of the, again, using that breath work, some breath work that I do if I'm driving that sympathetic state is I'll get up, I'll go and jump in my pool and I'll drag a kettlebell along the bottom of the pool. And that takes about 45 seconds. I'll come up as my heart's beating really hard. I really want to take in as much oxygen as possible to refuel that energy system. Okay, what I'm trying to do is control my breathing as my brain's telling me to get in as much oxygen as possible. So I'm trying to maintain some form of control of my breath and my autonomic nervous system from swinging too hard into that sympathetic state by using my breath to drive the parasympathetic state whilst I'm in a sympathetic state. So that is probably a little bit confusing. Hopefully it does make sense. I will add on to this video in future episodes. If you guys want to know something in particular, let me know. But that's essentially how I use my autonomic nervous system, or the data that my heart rate or elite HRV app gives me at the start of the day to then inform me of the direction that I need to go in terms of my breath work. Do I want to drive the parasympathetic state? Do I want to drive the sympathetic state? All right, that's it for me today, guys. If you got something out of this video, make sure you pass it off to your friends and family. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Much love. Peace.